Hey guys, how are you doing today? So I can't believe today is the very last day of February. Like, I have no idea where February went, and like it's gone now and it's March already. I can't believe that February has come and has gone. So this is my monthly wrap up. I can't believe that I beat the books that I read in January, because I actually read 10 books this month. I can't believe it. That's just ridiculous to me. I don't even remember a time last year where I read 10 books in a whole entire month. So I'm trying not to make this video a gajillion minutes long because no one wants to sit through that. So I'm going to get to it. So I'm gonna sort of like lump them all together in like the series that I read, because I tended this month to read books that were consecutive in the series that I'm reading. So one of the series that I absolutely fell in love with this year is actually the Port Danby series by London Lovett. She was so kind enough to send me the very first in the series. She sent me this beautiful, beautiful bookmark that says marigolds and murder, and then it's adorable, and it has little bitty flowers and a teacup and a saucer, and it's super, super cute. And she sent me a bookmark with the books that are out right now. And so I read Carnations and Chaos, Mistletoe and Mayhem, Roses and Revenge, and next month on March 18th, Tulips and Trouble are coming out. And guys, okay, I did not know she was gonna do this, and she's the sweetest person ever, because not only does she shout out my blog and my YouTube channel on her Facebook page and everything, but inside she signed the book and she said how much she loves my YouTube channel. Like, getting to know all of you guys is my favorite thing about my BookTube channel, but then seeing that the authors that I love to read and I love to introduce to you guys is just, it's just so amazing when they reach out and they talk to me, and like it's so much fun just seeing the communication and the friendships that grow from the cozy mystery genre, and just, I don't know, you guys are my cozy companions, and I love it. So I read Carnations and Chaos, which is all about the 3rd annual food fair that's coming into Port Danby, and a very well-known blogger, but not well-liked, is actually found murdered in her hotel room. And Pink is asked to use her hypersensitive nose to sort of sniff out the killer and figure out who did it. Of course, Detective James Briggs. Love that guy. I'm Team James, not necessarily Team Dash. If you've read this series, which team are you on? Because I'm Team James. I want to know more about James. The next book that I read was Mistletoe and Mayhem. The annual Harbor Holiday Lights Flotilla is coming into port at Port Danby, and it's supposed to be a sight to see. All of the boats are lit up with beautiful Christmas lights. People walk around and look at all of the boats and drink hot chocolate and buy from the local stores on Main Street. It's a big, huge hurrah, and it's fantastic that Port Danby is the last stop, so anyone who has missed it comes to Port Danby to see it. Of course, this would not be a cozy mystery if there wasn't a murder. So one of the captains of one of the boats is actually found strangled to death on the pier. And Pink is asked if her sniffer can sort of get any hints or clues on what is on the fabric that the captain was choked with. And she sort of falls into another murder and figuring out who did it, who killed this man, why was this man killed. And last but not least is Roses and Revenge. And Roses and Revenge is all about sort of Pink's past coming to haunt her in a way. So she has been sort of Instagramming out pictures of Port Danby, and her old perfume company that she used to work for, I believe it's called Giorgio's Perfume Company, actually comes to do a filming shoot at the mansion, and I guess they're putting out a new perfume, and they're really wanting it to sort of have this dreary mystery kind of vibe, and that is the perfect place. Pink had no idea that her ex-fiance would be showing up as well at the photo shoot, and she's already, her emotions are going haywire with Dash flirting with her more, not really knowing where Detective James is in their relationship, and then her ex shows up. What makes it harder is when Pink is asked to sort of help with a murder of someone in the group that she used to work with. One of them is found killed inside their trailer, and her nose gives her hints of someone that she doesn't want to be the murderer, and so she's torn between, should I, you know, help with this investigation, or should I tear myself away and let it be in the hands of Detective Briggs? The next book I read was Stroke of Death by Agatha Frost and Evelyn Amber. This is the third in the Scarlet Cove series. We're following Liz Jones, who is a retired detective, and she moved to Scarlet Cove to start over after her husband is killed in the line of duty, and she is running her own craft shop and teaching art on the side. She actually has an art group that comes, and it seems like it's going to be amazing. She's loving getting to interact with people who are into art with her as well. Her best friend, Nancy Turtle, actually is she works at the local gallery, and the gallery manager, Caitlin Monroe, is actually gone on vacation, and Nancy gets it in her head that she should take down all of the boring art that is in the gallery and put up the art club's work just for one night. Caitlin doesn't need to know about it at all. However, Caitlin shows up unannounced super early and tears down the paintings, ripping one of Liz's, and somehow she ends up murdered in her office. And Liz, being the retired detective that she is trying to let it be in the hands of the actual detectives in Scarlet Cove, but she realizes that the suspects are those that are inside of her art club, and this is a really, really hard prospect for her because she has to maybe admit that maybe her best friend could have had a hand in this murder. Multiple murders end up happening, and it was really good. I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. I really do want to see the characters grow a little bit more, and I'd like to have a longer cozy mystery. This is something that I got on Kindle Unlimited, but I still want something longer that has more depth in it. The next book that I read in February was Lending a Paw by Lori Cass. This was the BookClub book of the month for our Cozy Mystery book club that Angela at Books Are My Heart and I started. And this is coming out on Friday. So on Wednesday, we did a huge live stream, and it will be linked on Angela's YouTube channel. So if you haven't gone and subscribed to her channel, you need to. This follows Minnie and Eddie. Eddie is the kitty cat right here, and he's very, very feisty. He has a lot of personality, but Minnie is a librarian in, I think it's Chilson, Michigan, and she is wanting to get literacy out into those places where people can't get to the library. And so she actually gets money donated to build and create this bookmobile, and she is super excited. This follows her very first day out on the road getting people their books, and she thinks that, you know, the day has actually run pretty smoothly, other than the fact that Eddie has decided that he was going to sneak on to the van and she thinks that she's done and ready to head home when Eddie decides to dart out of the truck, and she has to run after him. She doesn't realize that she is going to fall upon a body of a man that she knows, and she is going to leave it in the hands of the professional. She's a librarian. She knows that she needs to just back away, but when she notices that the detectives are actually ignoring hard evidence, she takes it upon herself to figure out who killed this man. The next book that I read was Natural Thorn Killer. This is a Rose City mystery by Kate Dyer-Seeley, also known as Ellie Alexander. This is actually an advanced reader copy. This book doesn't come out until March 27th, but let me tell you, you want to go run out and get it like stat. Anything that she puts her mind to, she writes brilliantly. The characters are so well developed, and I found myself laughing, crying, and getting angry with the characters. This follows Britta. She is sort of a woman who is finding a new love in life. She has realized that her husband has been cheating on her, and she decides that enough is enough. She's done. She is going to move back in with her Aunt Ellen in Portland, Oregon, and she's going to help her run her flower shop called Bluma. She thinks that she's pretty close with her aunt until she realizes that even though they had weekly phone calls, that her aunt was leaving out a lot of things, like an enemy florist leaving dead roses and scaring her, someone trying to buy the whole entire Main Street area up out of the owner's controls. And then when they find that said person who's trying to buy the Main Street dead inside their flower shop, Britta decides that she's not going to just sit by and let all of this happen to her aunt and the Rose City district. She decides that she's going to take it upon herself to figure out who did it. The next books that I read were The Beauty and the Beast. This is actually the manga, and what I love about it is, one, look how gorgeous that art is. It's absolutely stunning. And I love the fact that it tells it from both of their perspectives. It tells it from the Beast's perspective and then from Belle's perspective. And it was so nostalgic for me. She is my absolute favorite Disney princess, and I have always just been very envious of Beast's library. I love the art inside of it. It's absolutely stunning. There's little cute page breaks that are adorable in between the chapters. They were very, very quick and easy reads. I love them. I read both of them in maybe an hour. But I highly recommend them. They're super, super sweet, and I loved seeing both of their points of view. It was awesome. The next book that I read was Scene of the Climb. It is the first in the Pacific Northwest mystery series. It's by Kate Dyer-Seeley. You can sort of see that I had a kick on Kate Dyer-Seeley books because I just recently found out that Ellie Alexander also wrote under another name, and so I kind of had to go and buy those to see how well they compare to her name Ellie and then Kate. And so this was a really, really fun series. I'm on the third book right now, actually. This follows Meg. She is a newly graduated journalist, and she's sort of in a rough spot in her life because right before she graduated, her dad was killed in a car accident, and then she was in a very depressive state, living on her best friend's couch, and she couldn't find a job for months and months, and finally luck sort of reared its head and gave her a handout when Greg, the owner of Northwest Extreme, an athletic magazine, bumps into her at a coffee shop and sort of does an impromptu interview and tells her, you know what, I need a junior journalist. Let's try you on and see how it goes from there. And she lies out of her, she just lies about being athletic and graceful when she's klutzy, which I can totally relate to, and I'm not that athletic, and I really, really liked her. She is very young, and so I have enjoyed over the past 2.5 books that I've read so far, seeing her grow as a person herself. So she has to follow this reality TV show called Race the States. It is sort of a 10 contestants start out racing across the United States, doing death-defying stunts over mountains, in water. I mean, it's just a very, very intense kind of competition. And she is asked to follow the last 3 contestants. This is a really fun series to read. Meg has decided that she's going to try and climb this mountain and, you know, trying to ignore the fact that she's deathly afraid of heights. And she finally fakes a fall so that she can sort of get out of it. And as she's falling, she actually sees one of the contestants hurling themselves, or it seems, off of the mountainside and actually dying. And she realizes that it might not have been an accident. And so she is determined that once she gets her nose stuck on a specific thing, she's just like her dad. She has to figure out what happened. She has to figure out, was this a murder? Was this an accident? And she needs to make sure that she handles it. It was a really, really good series. So since I loved it so much, I of course went on to book number 2, Slade on the Slopes. And I actually did a cozy vlog for, I did 2 parts, part 1 and part 2, and I'll leave them linked down below. So if you really want my on-the-spot feelings about this book and exactly how I felt at each and every section, you need to go and watch the cozy vlogs. Apparently you guys really liked them, so hopefully I can get 1 or 2 out a month, and that'll be a lot of fun. So Kate has taken Meg to the snowy mountaintops, and Meg is following these men called the Ridge Rangers. They are very hardcore, high altitude sort of guys who want to take people to the summit, and they want to do it safely, and it's just, this is their training week. She's wanting to interview them, get to know what they're doing for a living, and it's supposed to be a quick, easy, and fun assignment. However, it seems that there's some turmoil and no love loss between some of the members of the Ridge Rangers, and she seems to find herself wondering what she's supposed to be writing about. The main person who is actually fronting all of the money for the Ridge Rangers is actually found shot and killed in the middle of a snowstorm. And Meg is trying to, you know, back away and give the sheriff his time to figure out everything that's going on. And she realizes that she can't just leave it alone. And it was a really, really good book. I love it. You need to pick up this series. So that's the end of this chapter of Courtagonist. I hope that you enjoyed my February monthly wrap-up. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know what you read in the month of February down below. And until next time, guys, happy reading. Bye.